Hello everyone, and welcome to Bragging About Cinema's very first Christmas movie countdown. Now I don't know about you, but I certainly love the holidays and I love watching Christmas movies even more. Now if you've watched some of my other videos, I do tend to focus on sci-fi or kind of movies like that. Well, guess what? When the clock strikes November and December, it's all about the Christmas movies. This is going to be my most ambitious video yet. We're going to do my top 20 countdown. Now, before we get started, if you could hit that subscribe button and then hit that notification bell for the next time I put out my next video. This might take a little bit of time, but I think you're going to find it worth it in the end. Now, my commitment to you is I will spend no more than 30 seconds on each movie because I want to respect your time and I want you to get through this entire list. And at the end, I hope you comment below to let me know what you think. Are you ready to get started? I've got my hot cocoa ready to go. Here we go. Number 20. Kicking off our list is a hit from Disney Plus from 2019, Noelle, starring Anna Kendrick and Bill Hader. This movie answers the question, who's going to take over for Santa? Is it going to be his son? Or is it going to be his absolute Christmas-loving daughter? Now, what I like about this one is kind of a different take on Santa Claus, and we get to see Christmas time in Arizona. Now, I come from a colder climate, so this is all new for me. Number 19 is Daddy's Home 2, starring Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell, Mel Gibson, and John Lithgow. Those are some of our favorite on-screen TV dads, and this is a favorite in my family, as we're kind of a big blended family too, and we just think this is a funny one that's hit our rotation every single year since it came out. Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg really complement each other well as the two kind of competing dads, and then of course John Lithgow and Mel Gibson, complete opposites, makes for some funny Christmas shenanigans. Number 18. Now, every action movie star has to have their own Christmas movie at some point in their career, and Arnold Schwarzenegger's Jingle All the Way comes up next. If you have ever been a kid that just needed a toy for Christmas and you asked and that's all you wanted, and if you're a parent that just wanted to get that for your kid, this movie is for you, as Arnold Schwarzenegger tries to get that action figure that his son desperately wants, and of course, it's not easy, and that's how the movie begins and ends. All right, next up on the list is our first animated feature. This is Klaus, that's currently on Netflix. This is about a postmaster who is sent up to a small, faraway town of feuding families and not a lot of cheer. And he eventually finds a way to cheer up the town with his friend Klaus. This is kind of an origin story for Santa Claus, and we've seen a few of those. This one has a lot of funny charm to it, but also has good emotional connections that you make with the characters. This is another one that I really loved. It was kind of a sleeper hit because it didn't have a lot of hype when it came out, and then we watched it and we just fell in love with it. Number 16. Now, do you have a big family and do you have to try to fit everybody in on Christmas? So the next movie up is Four Christmases, starring Vince Vaughn and Reese Witherspoon. Now, I have been there where I was fortunate enough to have multiple families to visit. It does not allow a lot of time in each house, but I think it's important because you get to see everybody. So this movie I love because I can relate, and it's every family is just a little bit different, and I think that's how most families are. We're all just a little bit different. Number 15, back-to-back Vince Vaughn movies. This is Fred Claus. Who knew Santa Claus had a brother? His name was Fred. Now I can imagine growing up with having Santa as your brother, that would be a lot of pressure to perform, and of course our character Fred doesn't land on the nice list too often. And so his brother recruits him to help him out because of course he is on the naughty list, and they spend the movie trying to, Fred's trying to be as good as Santa, and Santa is just trying to love Fred because Santa is all good. And Vince Vaughn is always on point with his comedy. All right, at number 14, you will see The Grinch. Now, there's been a few takes on The Grinch, so I'm going to pick Benedict Cumberbatch's version. It's an animated one. I love the highlight of this one is his relationship with his dog Max. Kind of like our Gambit Paw of Approval if you've seen some of my other reviews. I just think they have a really funny and compelling story, and when the Grinch goes over and hangs out with the town in the Christmas party, he kind of starts to realize he's making a big mistake. Now, you've probably seen many versions, so you know how this story goes, but that's my favorite version. So first question for the comment below, which Grinch is your favorite version? Number 13 is Happiest Season on Hulu. This stars Kristen Stewart, and she is going home to meet her girlfriend's parents for the first time. They've been in a relationship for a while, but what she doesn't know is her girlfriend has not come out to her parents. So she tries half the movie trying to be someone that she isn't, and at the very end it turns out that the whole family kind of wasn't being honest with each other and who they were, and at the end is a happy ending. That's why they call it Happiest Season. There's also Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek, who has some great comedic performance in this movie. This is a new one that has crept up on the list. Number 12. Has there ever been a Santa Claus superhero movie? I'm thinking Christmas Chronicles is pretty darn close. This one is starring Kurt Russell, as he is the Santa Claus. He's the cool, hip Santa Claus in this one, though. And a group of kids kind of find out that he is real. They had unfortunately lost their dad, and Santa Claus is helping them out get through this holiday season. And he ends up losing his bag, which that's a pretty big deal. That's where all the presents are stored. So the movie, they're trying to get the bag back. My favorite scene is Santa in prison singing along for all the Indians. Number 11. You have that one neighbor that just goes out of their way to decorate their house. Just so you know, we had our house decorated on Halloween this year because Halloween was on a Sunday. Fortunately, we do have a neighbor that lives across the street that is trying to outduel us. So up next, Deck the Halls, starring Danny DeVito and Matthew Broderick. This one, I love this one because it's two guys trying to one-up each other, decorating their house to the point where one house can be seen from space. Now, both of them lose sight of what Christmas is all about, completely forget about their family. One house even gets burned down. And of course, this is a Christmas movie, so we gotta have a happy ending. And they all realize at the end, family is the most important part about Christmas. Number 10. Okay, we're halfway done our countdown. Had to do a quick wardrobe change. If you're still with me, thank you, I appreciate it. Now, what would you do if Santa landed on your roof, didn't quite make it, and all of a sudden you had his red suit? Well, the next movie up is Tim Allen's The Santa Claus. Tim Allen is the reluctant Santa Claus that he does not want to be Santa Claus, but he's got the suit, so he's got to do it. Tim Allen, of course, is a funny family comedy guy. That's why I love this movie. His kids, of course, find out their dad's Santa. How cool would that be? Other than missing time on Christmas. So this is one that is always in the rotation. Number 9. Now, we've all seen A Christmas Carol, but have you seen Scrooged? Scrooged is kind of a sleeper hit for me. I introduced it to my family last year. They weren't quite as excited as I am, but Bill Murray is one of my favorite actors, especially when it comes to comedies. He is a TV exec who will do anything to have great ratings on his Christmas Eve broadcast. Now, you know the familiar story. He gets visited by 3 ghosts, but this is not your classic version. This is more of a modern, 80s version. And if you have not seen this, I highly suggest it. Maybe not with the fam, maybe by yourself first, to make sure it's appropriate for your family. Number 8, Tim Allen strikes again, Christmas with the Cranks. Now, I know what it's like when your kids are off and you don't get to see them on Christmas. It gets quite boring. So when Tim Allen's daughter calls and says she can't make it, I can see why he'd want to go on a family vacation. Now, my family doesn't have the party that the entire town comes to, so I wouldn't have to worry about that. His town is not very happy, so they spend all they can to make them regret not having their big party on Christmas because they want to go on some tropical adventure. And of course, at the end, his daughter decides that she's coming.
I changed my mind and I'm coming home for Christmas.
What? I love the ending of this movie, that big party, and really that feel good, you get the whole community together, family vibe. This one is always a watch for us. All right, number 7. Now this is my wife's favorite movie, so we'll find out if she actually watched my video or not, because I'm giving her a shout out right now. Home Alone. I think most of you have probably seen this one, but wouldn't it be great if you had the whole house to yourself on Christmas and you were a little kid and you were able to thwart some robbers trying to get into your house?
Get off my property.
Sounds pretty fun to me. This is one we have to watch every year. The kids love it. They just love the shenanigans of the robbers trying to get in, and Macaulay Culkin just outsmarting them at every turn. And at the end, he realizes he needs his family. Now, number 6 is one that it just creeps up on my list every year. This is not a family one, so if you're looking for a family movie night suggestion, probably skip back this one. This is The Night Before, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, and Anthony Mackie. 3 friends who had a tradition of going out Christmas Eve with drunken debauchery, and this is their last time, so you know they've got to go out on top, have an epic night. Now, when I watch this, I'm not a big ugly sweater Christmas person, but they have the coolest ugly sweaters I've seen. So I always want to go out and get one after that, but I do t-shirts. And what I love about this one is they realize just because it's their last night, going out and having fun doesn't mean it's the end of their friendship. They could still meet up every year when their families start growing. I love this one. Number 5 is another popular one, Elf, starring Will Ferrell and Zooey Deschanel. Now, Will Ferrell, he's a funny guy. We all can agree on that. This is the classic fish out of water, trying to find his dad, New York City. I think the best part is Zooey Deschanel. I think her charm and her singing really make this a fun one to kind of balance out Will Ferrell's crazy antics. And this one, my kids always want to pour maple syrup on pasta, and to this day, have not want them. Number 4. Now this is going in the way back time machine. This is a classic when I was a kid. This was, you watch this Christmas season, or you don't get to watch it till next year. There was no DVR, there was no movies, or maybe some people had it and I didn't. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. In this show, we learn Bumble's balance. Some elves want to be dentists, and the Island of Misfit Toys. Now this is a funny, charming show, but it's also pretty dark when you see those toys without any people to play with them. I love this one. It's a favorite. It makes me feel like I'm a kid again. I can't wait to watch it this year. Wow, this is going fast. Number 3, top 3 of the countdown. And this one, I think, out of all the movies I've picked, this one really highlights the Christmas spirit more than any of them. This is an animated feature, The Polar Express. Now, when I asked my family kind of what they like, this one they say, oh, the animation's weird. This is one sometimes I actually have to watch by myself because they don't like it quite as much. Thankfully, my youngest loves this one. In this one, you got a boy who is, coming to the end of his Santa run, and he's not sure if he believes in Santa anymore, so a train picks him up. They go on an adventure where he's trying to help his friends with their tickets. They make it all the way to the North Pole, and he's following the ghosts of Christmas right along the whole entire time. I love this movie. This one fills me with joy every time I watch it. And I'm curious, what do you think of this one? This is my top animated one. So comment below, what's your top animated Christmas movie? All right, number 2. Now this one could have been number 1. This was kind of hard. This is a coin flip. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. This is Chevy Chase, the utmost Christmas lover you'll ever meet. He decks his house with the biggest lights. He travels miles into the forest to get the giant tree. He's got the entire family coming over for Christmas. Now, this is a comedy, but I also think this one has a lot of heart. I love the scene where he's trapped in the attic and he's watching the old Christmas videos, and they play that song and he's tearing up because he knows what Christmas is all about. And you want to make the most memories every Christmas because it's not always going to be the same as you keep moving along. And I think that's something that we can all relate to. Here it is, number 1. Do you have any guesses on what this could be? I've covered quite a few. Now this one is my favorite. I've enjoyed it for a long time. This is A Christmas Story. That's right, you'll shoot your eye out, kid.
Need to shout. You'll shoot your eye out.
I have spent many, many nights wrapping presents, watching this on replay when it's on its 24-hour marathon on TBS. This one has all the Christmas charm, plus the Christmas humor. I love the scene where the little kid's stuck in his snowsuit. And who can forget the fragile leg lamp? I love the end where the dogs eat turkey and they have to go out to dinner. But what really it boils down to is family time. I just love this movie, and I'm gonna watch it probably multiple times every year. And this is one, it's funny, this is one that usually I end up either watching alone or a couple of the kids watch with me. So if they were to do their list, it would have been a lot different. So if you stuck through the end, thank you very much. And if you comment below, let me know what you think. Let me know, what's your favorite Christmas movie? What's your go-to with your family, and what's your guilty pleasure that no one else likes to watch with you? I hope you enjoyed it, and if you watch my videos, you're gonna find something to brag about.